Hello everybody, my name is Chris Ortiz. I'm the EMS Division Chief for Albuquerque Fire Rescue, and I wanted to take a few minutes to bring up a discussion in regards to median safety and discussion initiative that AFR will be participating in beginning this summer that will extend and give you some background, some information as to what our roles and responsibilities were in regards to this new safety initiative. So exploring what the problem is, according to the National Highway Transportation Safety Association, more than 6,000 pedestrians die and more than 75,000 are injured by encounters with vehicle traffic annually. And interestingly enough, New Mexico has one of the highest rates of pedestrian fatalities per capita. In 2019, for a population of every 100,000, we actually had some of the highest in the nation in regards to pedestrian fatalities. Where this is happening, a major source is the pedestrian fatalities and injuries is the occupation of medians that were not designed for pedestrian traffic. So in 2020, we had a specific case of an Albuquerque mother of three who was killed after being struck on a median near the Pan American Freeway. So this obviously is a problem that the city is looking on ways to address. So in November of 2022, the City Council worked to pass Ordinance 22-44, which was an amendment to the traffic code relating to pedestrian safety in medians and pedestrian vehicle interactions. So the language inside this ordinance states that you cannot stand on a median of any roadway with a posted speed limit of 30 miles per hour or greater, and does not have a flat area of at least 4 feet in diameter. And that does exclude the curbs and gutters. So essentially, if it is a median that is less than 4 feet, then somebody cannot stand on that median if the posted speed limit is greater than 30 miles per hour. So Vision Zero, I want to talk about that a little bit. Vision Zero is an initiative that you can look at on the city website, but it's looking at what is the acceptable number of traffic-related deaths for my family, and obviously that number is 0. So Vision Zero is a data-driven safe systems approach to create safer streets for all, whether you're walking, biking, driving, or you're taking transit, and regardless of age or ability. So it's used around the world to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing the safe and healthy, equitable mobility for all. So traffic safety is an important piece of that overall effort, and we're helping to improve public safety. So in 2020, at least 77 people were killed while traveling around our city, and 77 is obviously too many of our family members, children, and friends. So we need to take steps to improve the safety of Albuquerque streets. So city administration has encouraged us to collaborate with other public safety departments to help educate and enforce the ordinance. So Albuquerque Fire, along with Albuquerque Police Department and their PSA program, Albuquerque Community Safety, City Security, as well as city parking and other city entities are collaborating to provide education to folks to keep them off these medians and eventually lead to enforcement, which will come in the issuing of citations. So although Albuquerque Fire Rescue is not going to participate in issuing citations, I think that education for the public while we're out in the community is key. So what we're asking all of our folks to do is using that opportunity when we're out in the community to educate anybody who's standing in a median of less than 4 feet of the dangers and encourage them to find a safer place to stand. Again, this does not involve any enforcement or citations on our part. It is strictly going to be a customer service approach. So if we see an individual who's standing in one of those medians, just educating them on the ordinance and asking them to move to a safer location. So knowing where these medians are key. The city is going to provide signage for each one of those locations. As it stands right now, there's 16 of them around the city. The link that'll be associated with this video shows the ArcGIS data of all of those locations. Being that it doesn't include the curbs, there's going to be additional locations and signage that will be added. So it will help us to try and enforce and educate when we're out in the community helping these folks out. So as we all know, the summer months are our trauma season, and we do have more pedestrian-related injuries in the summer simply because there's more people out. It's good weather, so we're going to have more people in the streets. Those identified medians are too narrow, and they are in high speed, high intensity areas. So it's all about safety. So the wider areas are still allowed, and we're not looking to infringe on anybody's expressive conduct. So that means anybody who's out there, let's just say it was a car wash or just people just hanging out in the median, we still want to provide them the opportunity to be in areas where they're allowed to be, just avoiding these less than 4 feet spaces. And again, this ordinance does apply to everybody, so this isn't specific to any individuals or any situations. It's anybody who's standing in the median would be susceptible to receiving a citation, so we want to make sure that we're educating them ahead of time so they stay safe and they don't receive a citation. We want to keep in mind that we can offer alternatives, so obviously any wider spaces, anywhere within that intersection that would be safe. If the individual does need additional resources, then we can provide those to them. We have the Albuquerque Community Safety Department that can be reached through our alarm room if we're active and on duty, or we have the 311 number that we can call out to have them dispatched out to any location if there's an individual that we identify that needs resources and doesn't just have an alternative to that location. We want to encourage our folks to not engage with anybody who's purposefully non-compliant. So if you're in a situation where you've asked them to move and they refuse to do so, our role in this is simply education, and then we can document and notify APD if there are any situations that are a crew safety issue for us or if that non-compliance continues. If there are any questions in regards to this, there's my email at cgortiz@cabq.gov. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Your chain of command will also be aware of this new initiative, so you can reach out through your battalion chief if there's any questions. 311 is a great resource, and if anybody has questions regarding Vision Zero, or if they need some information from the documents from City Council itself, those links are also attached. Thank you. Appreciate everybody for all their efforts in keeping our community safe. And if there's any questions, always feel free to reach out. Thanks.